And that's got nothing to do with how well you swing a golf club. I care about you more. Or like butching.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into Stick, the new Apple TV dramedy starring Owen Wilson. Now look, this show caught my attention mainly because Owen Wilson was leading a golf-centered story. That alone had me curious, but after watching the first full season, including the finale, I've now got a lot to say about it. So with that, let's get right into it. Stick has a pretty familiar setup. We've seen this story 100 times before. A down on his luck former pro, this time is a golfer, gets a second chance at life and redemption by mentoring someone who reminds him of his former self. Owen Wilson plays Price, a washed-up, emotionally checked-out ex-golf pro who hasn't touched a club in years, not since a tragic incident involving his son. After getting kicked off a golf course for slamming clubs in a rage, Price ends up meeting this kid Santi, a teenager with some Happy Gilmore-esque talent. I mean, this kid's out here smacking golf balls in the trash bins like it's nothing. He's got the raw talent, the drive, and a complicated family situation that makes him easy to root for. So, you have Price, Santi and his mother, and Price's old caddy hitting the road, and from there it becomes a sort of golf road trip / coming of age story. Along the way they end up meeting characters like Zero and others who flesh out the journey. It's about rediscovery, mentorship, and finding meaning in second chances. Now let me say this right off the bat, Stick brings the performances. Owen Wilson really sells the broken but likable mentor type. He doesn't try to be overly charming or overly dramatic. He just is this washed up dude trying to pull himself together. The actor playing Santi brings great energy, even though the writing for the character occasionally lets him down. And the production quality is straight up Apple TV money as usual. The show looks great, cinematography is sharp, the score isn't overbearing. Apple does not play when it comes to polish, and this show is no different. Everything from the golf course visuals to the small, intimate moments between characters looks and feels premium. Now, there are a few things this show does really well, like I mentioned before, and so just to list them off, you have first, the emotional beats are hitting hard where they need to. Second, the finale wraps things up very nicely. There's no cheap cliffhanger, no frustrating tease. It ends sweet and complete, so if we don't get a season 2, that's fine. You'll still walk away feeling satisfied. Also, the pacing of the road trip arc had some solid momentum once the story really kicked in, and there are a few moments, especially around episode 5 or 6, where you feel that emotional connection start to take root. But this is where it gets a little shaky. There are some weak points. The show's biggest flaw is that it's a little forgettable. And I hate saying that because episodes end up clocking in around 25 to 35 minutes, and some are actually shorter. And that might be fine for sitcoms, but in a show that's trying to juggle comedy, character development, and emotion, it's not quite enough. I watched some episodes, for example, like Wednesday mornings instead of 8 o'clock Tuesday when it really comes on. And by the next week, I was like, wait, who was that guy again? Like when they introduced Zero. I liked her, but the time the next episode dropped, I kind of forgot what made them interesting. And honestly, there are a few fillerish episodes, not full-on filler, but those flashbacks and sit-downs kinds that, feel like padding, especially when you're already working with short runtimes. And speaking of jarring moments, Santi makes some questionable decisions in multiple episodes, but mainly the finale that kind of feel off, especially after everything he's learned throughout this season. It doesn't ruin the finale, it's still great, but it does stick out. Comedy-wise, it's okay. It's not laugh-out-loud funny like I was hoping, but there are some moments. I expected a bit more given Owen Wilson's presence, but the tone leans more grounded than zany. It's not Ted Lasso funny, it's not Happy Gilmore funny, it's just kind of mildly amusing. And maybe that's the thing. Stick is decent, which for most platforms is fine, but this is Apple TV. I've come to expect greatness from the original stuff like Severance, Shrinking, and recently Your Friends and Neighbors with John Hamm. When Apple TV puts out a show, I usually anticipate deep writing, strong thematic undercuts, and memorable characters. Stick feels more like a Netflix or Hulu show, and while it's not inherently a bad thing, Netflix has some good stuff. It does mean that. When Stick doesn't quite reach the high bar I've come to associate with Apple Originals, it kind of sticks out. So with that, what is the verdict? Stick is a good show. I want to hammer that home. It's not great like I was hoping, but it's good. It's got heart, some solid character moments, and it has a pretty good finale and strong performances, but it's held back by its short run times, forgettable weekly drops, and an overall lack of emotional depth in the writing. If you've got Apple TV Plus and you like stories about redemption, mentorship, and second chances with a little golf sprinkled in, this is definitely worth the watch. Hopefully it'll get a lot better in Season 2, but for right now I'm going to give Season 1 a 7.5 out of 10. It is a solid series with some strong beats, but it's not one that I'm going to be thinking about months from now, and it was so close to getting to that 8 mark for me. So what did you think of Stick? Are you hoping for a Season 2? Did the finale work for you in the way it did for me? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and tap that bell so you don't miss more reviews like this one. And hey, check out my Your Friends and Neighbors Season 1 review if you haven't already. Link is going to be in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.
I think he could win it all.
You don't need to cut the corner here.
Why go around when you can just go over?